So ChatGPT gave me my mojo back. We're going to talk about this today. Hey, everybody. I'm Madalyn Sklar. Hi. Welcome to Social Media and AI Shortcuts. Today, we're going to talk about ChatGPT and all the cool things I've been doing with it this week. It's not just for content creation and all the cool, funky images that we like to make with it. It's helping me with a mind shift change and is acting as my business coach this week and is challenging me to think differently and to do more. So I can't wait to talk about this today. It's a little different way of looking at ChatGPT. So thank you all so much for joining. This is a weekly live stream I host on social media every Thursday afternoon. Some of y'all may remember it used to be called Twitter Smarter back in the day. Who remembers that? I might be doing this solo today too. I don't have any of my community members here yet. Hopefully, some will come and hang out with us, but it's all good. Look, I'm always down to do this. However, and it's actually kind of fun doing stuff like this solo. But anyway, I'm Madalyn. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me on my live stream. Before we really dive into this really interesting thing that happened to me this week, an interesting way of using ChatGPT. I want to let everybody know, if you haven't done so already, join us over on the Skool platform. We've got social media and AI shortcuts. It is a nice way for us to stay connected in addition to social media. You know, social media is all about the algorithm and seeing our posts on social media. And sometimes we don't see each other's posts. That's just the way it is. So go to skool.com/Madalyn Sklar. You can see that's what the home screen looks like. And it's just been a fun way to stay more connected with everyone in our own private community. So be sure to check that out over on the Skool platform. Anyway, yeah, so I'm really excited to talk about this really interesting thing I did this week with ChatGPT. Um, it I'm just gonna tell the whole story because I think it'll just be interesting. But what the result was of me doing this exercise in ChatGPT and using what's called a custom GP, and we're going to be talking all about it, is that I'm going to be hosting an online class, and this was the whole basis of me having ChatGPT be my coach this week, because I was trying to get through a mind shift change, and I've been wanting to start teaching some online classes again. It's been a while since I've done that. And I wanted to start with something simple like a ChatGPT class, like a ChatGPT for dummies. Like, who better to do that than me? So this is a post I put out on X a few days ago with the help of ChatGPT, by the way. And I'm going to be showing y'all more details about that. But anyway, I'm really excited. I'm going to just host a webinar. And if it sounds interesting, mark your calendar for Friday, March 14th, 2 weeks from tomorrow. Although I tell you what, after the thing I'm going to show you today that led me to setting up this class, I think I might do a deep dive and teach it how I use ChatGPT as my business coach. I might do that next week. I'm really thinking about it. If any of this sounds interesting to people, let me know. Put in the comments and let me know if I mean, look, I might just be talking about something today that all of y'all are like, what's the big deal, Madalyn? Why do I need ChatGPT as a business coach? Maybe I already have a business coach, or maybe I don't need a business coach. But it's just interesting because when we think of these AI tools, we think about, oh, this can help me write copy better. This can help me with some social media posts. This can help me write a blog post. This can help me create some really cool images. But it can be used for so many other things. And I really like exploring that. And that's what I'm really excited about with the way I've been using ChatGPT this week. But you know what? Before we dive into that, though, there is a piece of news about ChatGPT that I think I'll start with first to share with you, just in case not everybody's heard the news. But OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, they put out a post on X a couple days ago saying, Starting this week, we're rolling out a version of advanced voice powered by GPT 4.0 Mini to give all ChatGPT free users a chance to preview it daily across platforms. Now, if some of you have been here with me for a while, you may remember a while back, a couple of months ago, I was talking about this advanced voice audio on ChatGPT. We had quite the discussion about it. And I was telling everybody, like, hey, this is actually something you can do whether you have a free account or a paid account. And I was encouraging people, even if you got the free account, ChatGPT, to play with this. And actually, might as well just demo it here. Some of y'all may not have even seen this. So you can do this on the mobile app or on desktop. You can do it on a free ChatGPT account or a paid ChatGPT account. Now, I did the free account for the longest time because I love Magi and I use Magi for a lot of my AI stuff. And y'all have heard me talk about that quite a bit here. I'll put the link up. Magi, my favorite all-in-one AI tool. What's cool about Magi is I can pay $20 a month and have ChatGPT and Claude and Gemini and Grok and like all the regular text AI tools. Plus, it has a bunch of the image generating tools. So it's like an all-in-one, and I love that. So Magi, if you haven't checked it out, go to the link, bit.ly/Magi AI. Highly recommend it. So, so I've only done the free ChatGPT. However, when this advanced voice mode came out, and y'all have heard me talk about it repeatedly here, when that came out a while back, several months back, I'm like, this is pretty cool. Like I could actually just get on the mobile app and just have a conversation like it's a person, like talk to it instead of typing. And if anybody's not really familiar, let me do a quick demo. But just know that the whole point of the news this week on this particular item is that they've expanded it for the free users. So I went and signed up, even though I have Magi, I went ahead and signed up for a paid ChatGPT account several months back because I wanted to play with this audio feature and not be limited. On the free account, what they did, you were limited to 10 minutes a month. And I don't know how many of y'all used it, but I went through my 10 minutes very fast. And then you got to wait a month to start over. And I'm like, man, this is a cool feature. It's like, but is it worth $20 a month? In addition to me already paying to have Magi. So I did it as a test. And so, I spent like a month like, this is cool. I can just talk to it. I can be out walking my dog, whip out my phone, hit the button and just have a conversation with ChatGPT and brainstorm ideas and just talk about a variety of things to help me in my business. And then the next month came along and I'm like, should I renew it? Do I like this? Do I still want to use? I'm like, yeah, I really like this. So I renewed it. But the news that came out this week is that on the free version of ChatGPT, they're saying they're expanding the number of free minutes, but they're not saying exactly how many minutes. So we'll look at an article about that in just a moment, but let me just do a quick demo. So but just know you can do this on desktop as well. So I'm on my mobile app and I'm going to there's an audio button at the bottom right. There's a black button and I'm going to press that. Hey, chat, how are you?
Hey, Madalyn, I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm good. I'm hosting my live stream right now for my social media and AI Shortcuts community. Say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone. Great to be here with Madalyn and all of you. Hope you're enjoying the live stream.
A quick question. So OpenAI said this week that they're expanding the number of free advanced voice mode minutes, like daily minutes. Can you tell us how many minutes? Like if I'm on a free ChatGPT account, how many minutes do I actually get using what I'm doing right now, which is talking with you?
As of now, free users get a limited number of minutes each day for advanced voice mode conversations like this one. However, OpenAI hasn't specified the exact number of daily minutes available. It's best to check their official announcements or your account settings for the most up-to-date information.
but the official announcement doesn't clearly say. It's kind of strange, but I thought I'd ask you since you are embedded inside of OpenAI at ChatGPT. So thought maybe you could give us some insider information.
I understand it can be confusing. Unfortunately, I don't have access to specific insider details beyond what's publicly announced. OpenAI may provide more clarity in the future, so it's worth keeping an eye on their updates.
But bottom line, if anybody wants to play with this feature that I'm doing right now, that they're watching me do on the live stream, you don't have to have a paid account on the free ChatGPT on the mobile app or on desktop. They can do this, but it's not just 10 minutes a month anymore. We don't know how many minutes, but apparently more minutes, right?
Exactly. Anyone using the free ChatGPT account can now access this advanced voice mode for more minutes each day. It's definitely more than before, though the exact limit hasn't been specified. It's a great opportunity for everyone to try it out.
All right, chat, you're the best. Thank you for being my friend and helping me.
You're very welcome, Madalyn. I'm glad to be here for you. If there's anything else you need, just let me know.
I, I just, I mean, maybe I'm just a geek. I don't know, but I really enjoy doing this. Hey, there's one of our community members, Anna Scheller. Anna, what do you
Hey,
like this ChatGPT voice thing? Have you ever played with it before? I find it amusing.
I haven't yet. I keep telling myself I'm going to, but right now I have a grandbaby that has totally captured me.
Yeah,
She's
keeping
not
you
here.
busy.
She's keeping me busy. And like today, the kids are getting their household goods. So, um, yeah, so she was supposed to be with me, but I ended up having too many appointments. So she's busy getting into boxes right now. So I haven't, I guess my experimentation with voice has been pretty much with Siri. Really, I haven't, which is, still a form
Yeah,
of AI.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I use, so you and I talk about Magi a lot, and I love Magi. I can just throw things into Magi. I have to tweak it, it's still an AI. But I just love how much time it saves me and how working with the AI, like we do USA Biz Party now, and we're doing a live stream. So I will tell you that I'm your copycat. If you do
It's all
something,
good.
I do it. I do it.
I
We
want
had
people
an
to
old,
copy me.
good. Well, here you go. Um, your first mimic here, or I probably not first, but
So going from the old school Twitter chat to spaces to now live streaming.
to not, yes. So now our reach goes to YouTube and LinkedIn and Twitter. And I don't know if, so I don't want to take away from your agenda for today, but is there a feature on StreamYard where you can schedule X and get the comments? Because I haven't been able to do that.
So, we're live streaming right now on my Facebook, YouTube, and X. And like right now, we got a comment coming in from Gail. Hey, Gail. And she's on YouTube, and you can see the little YouTube icon. I don't always see X comments on here. And to me, it seems like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Okay.
Sometimes I won't see it until after the fact when I go over to X, and then you go, watch the replay, and then it's like, oh, where were all those comments when we were over here live streaming
Hmm.
live and it didn't come over to StreamYard? So it's happened to me before, but I'm not sure if it's an X thing or a StreamYard thing. So that I don't know.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, we're just getting started. We're just getting our mojo back, and always looking for people who would like to share, talk with us about what they do related to business. Of course, you get an invite every week, so whenever you can join us, we would love for you to be part of that. Um, but AI, it's so funny. Do you remember last year AI was so scary? I mean, everybody was talking about all
We
of
were
the.
still learning about it. It is scary when you don't know much about. I mean, it's actually ChatGPT has been around for like a couple of years now. Magi
Mhm.
started a few years ago, but I feel like we learn more all the time, and I feel like the technology gets better and better.
It does. And it was very comforting to me. I do have a hard stop at the bottom of the hour, so I just want to make you aware of that. But I was on I was in the studio when you were interviewing Dustin,
Uh-huh.
Dustin Stout. And, DeepSeek has created some discussion, if you will, because because it's based out of China. And,
Right.
it was good to hear somebody with knowledge talk about how they are safeguarding people's usage with DeepSeek. So now, because I go through Magi, I'm not concerned about using DeepSeek,
Right.
you
Right.
know?
And
And
that was comforting when he shared that with us. So for anybody that doesn't know, several weeks back, Dustin Stout, who runs Magi, he came over here and we were talking about privacy on these platforms and especially with
Mhm,
DeepSeek, because when DeepSeek came out, all we heard about was, oh, that's in China, we're worried about privacy and our data.
mhm.
And I'm so glad you heard what Dustin had to say because I didn't really know much about this until he said it, but he was telling us with Magi, all of these, ChatGPT and Claude and DeepSeek and Grok, when he is utilizing it, through their API as a developer, he is very aware of the importance of our privacy. And he said he will not put these on his platform unless they're secured. And he went so far to say with DeepSeek, he has DeepSeek inside of Magi, which is amazing, but he has it
Mhm.
on a US server. So it is not from a server in China. And it's like, wow, that is super interesting and good to know that somebody's looking out for us with our
Yes.
data and privacy. And then he even was giving us advice on how to go into your different AI tools individually. If you use, like, since I use ChatGPT separately from time to time, like he said, oh, they kind of changed where that privacy setting was. And he
Mhm.
was telling us where to go. So I like followed exactly what he said. And sure enough, there was like something that needed to be checked off. And it's like, wow. So I really appreciate that he is looking out for us as customers, that privacy is really important because it's important to all of us. But how do we know what to do about that?
Yeah, I mean, and privacy is a huge concern when it comes to AI. And that's one of the things that when we don't have knowledge and we don't have information, that's how stories start and that's how speculation begins. And then that, of course, is how um, people get more fearful of it. And so we really have to be informed, which is one of the things I love about what you do, Madeline, because you try to stay at the cutting edge of what's going on, at least give us information so that we can make informed decisions, and we're not making decisions based on hearsay or the business person who really doesn't know much about AI or anything like that. Oh, excuse me. Been dealing with a
All
cold
good.
all week.
All good. So, yeah, well, I'm just so impressed with AI and the evolution of it, and I just feel like while there are some scary parts to it, I mean,
Mhm.
I always hope people use it for good, and I find great ways of using it, and that's why I can't wait in a little bit to share how I've been using it as my business coach this week because it's been very enlightening and
Really?
unexpected. Yeah, that's that. I'm just going to get through this little bit of news on ChatGPT with the whole audio thing and our extra minutes now, even though they won't tell us how many extra minutes we get on a free account. But yeah, I'm going to walk through this whole scenario and like story tell like what I did a few days ago and how cool this was and helping me kind of like, as I said at the top of the hour, kind of get my mojo back, getting back into online classes and stuff that I did a lot of in the past, but then life gets in the way, all these things going on. And now, in a new chapter in life, but like still feeling like, why am I not getting back on track? Why am I still like, what is keeping me from getting back to where it used to be and all the
Mhm.
stuff I was doing? And who knew on ChatGPT through this what's called a custom GP, and I'm going to be talking all about it, how it helped me get through like some blocks and have like a little breakthrough. And I'm like, oh my God, this is pretty amazing because so many times when we talk about AI, we talk about ChatGPT, we think of it, oh yeah, for people like you and I, we use it to help us with content for our social media or for a blog post
Mhm.
or helping us with a video we're creating for YouTube, or maybe create a cool image. We don't always think about it in other ways like, oh, it could be your own business coach, your little business coach in your back pocket.
Yeah,
So,
there's so much to explore.
yeah.
I look at well, if you just look at the avatars that Dustin has on Magi, and I will talk Magi because Magi is really it's the only source I use for AI because I trust it. I mean, I
Yeah.
know, like you said, I trust that Dustin is doing everything he can to safeguard me as his client using the platform. And I remember going in recently and thinking, oh, wow. Now I can do that, and now I can do that. It's really, really fun to see all of the different avatars that you can use or personas. They're actually not avatars, I guess. They're called personas. So that's just what Madalyn is showing you here. That's just all of the different AIs or large language models that are available through Magi. And then the personas help you determine what kind of boundaries you want to put on the conversation or the research that you're doing. So, for example, if you're wanting to do something specifically toward marketing, well, I would tend to use the marketing persona and not use the assistant, because the marketing persona is going to have more of what I'm looking for. Hey, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. Great to have you here with us. Oh, you're muted. We don't hear you. It shows you're muted.
Yeah, I'm seeing a mute.
Okay, sorry.
There you go. There you go.
Hi.
Hi, great having you here with us. Always love
Thank
having our
you.
community members join in.
Yeah. Hi, Anna. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Just living the
Good.
life, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt. I tried to log in and it said this ended, and I was like, what?
Really? We're
So
here.
then I logged in again, and
Okay.
now I'm here. So
Something glitchy. Who knows?
probably
Can't,
user
Yeah.
error.
can't explain. But yeah, Magi is an amazing tool and I love
I love
using it.
it.
But and the thing is, Dustin keeps adding features and you can do a version of the ChatGPT voice audio on it. It's not the same experience. It's a little bit different, but he did find a way to incorporate it and get those 10 minutes a month free. Although now that ChatGPT, OpenAI is saying they're going to expand the number of free minutes, even though they won't tell us exactly how many minutes.
Of
It's
course
so
not.
crazy. Not surprised. It's just like, well, when I signed up for the $20 a month OpenAI plan, just so I could do more than 10 minutes a month, it wouldn't even tell you how many minutes per day you got on the paid account. And I went through all their documentation and it was so vague because I'm thinking what they're trying to do is probably like be pretty, lenient, like let you just kind of do whatever. But then I guess once it gets out of control, then they're like, no, we got to put some limits. We got to put some limits. But I guess there's not huge limits at the moment. And I wasn't pushing it to see. I've heard people say, oh, daily you could do an hour, hour and a half talking with it. But I just am glad that they are giving us more free minutes if you're on the free account, because not everybody, wants to pay another $20 subscription to something.
Yeah.
Let's face it, we already have enough subscriptions. When will it end? I mean, I was actually
Right.
scaling back. The last thing I needed a few months ago was another $20 a month subscription, and I'm very happy with my Magi plan. But this audio thing is fascinating to me, that I can sit here and talk like I'm talking. I feel like I'm talking to a person the way it reacts with me. And so it's been kind of worth it for me to pay this $20 a month. But now that they have announced this week that they're opening up more minutes, it's like, oh, well, maybe I need to push, maybe I go back to the free account, push that to see how many minutes I truly get, per day, per month, and see how that goes. But that's what I want to talk about today, because I'm super excited about this whole like thing I did, and I wasn't trying to do a thing, but I think basically what I'll do is just kind of like story tell how all of this happened and how I came across this
Yeah.
custom GP because I've been hearing about custom GPs. I didn't, there's still so many things with all of this AI stuff that I just don't fully understand. And I'm always learning. And that's why I come here and chat with y'all to just learn stuff and then share, and then we can have a conversation about it and learn from each other, because there could be somebody here that knows more about this. And I'm not saying I know everything. I certainly
Yeah.
do not. Yeah, Gail says she likes the idea of using AI for research and coaching. I love it for research. I love it for research. I love it for ideas. I've done a little bit with the coaching, but what I did this week is off the charts. So, and helping me drastically. And I just want people to know like that this is possible. So let me kind of explain. What I thought I would do today is kind of talk about and storytell this experience I had. And then what I'm thinking about doing, if people are finding this interesting, and y'all let me know, and y'all put in the comments as well that are watching this, I'm thinking I might do a deep dive class next Friday, so a week from tomorrow. So my ChatGPT for Dummies class is 2 weeks from tomorrow. And this thing I'm going to walk y'all through is what helped me like just put something out and just go for it and just start doing this already, even though it's been in my head for who knows how long. Sometimes you need that little push. Who knew it'd be a virtual voice on your phone? That's what just to me is like cool and different. But anyway, I think like doing a hands-on and showing more of this would be super cool today. But today I'm just going to like talk about and explain what exactly happened. So it all started with a Facebook post I saw recently, and it's somebody that I don't know her super well, but just somebody in the business that I know and met a long time ago through a community. And I was like, what community was that? And I think I remember now. I think it was through a book, a community that through a popular book. But anyway, she had done this post and was talking about this custom GP she had created. And first I'm like, oh, I keep hearing about these custom GPs, but what the heck is a custom GP? So let me explain what that is real quick. So it's basically AI, like let's just say an AI assistant that's designed for a specific purpose. So like when you're doing regular ChatGPT or just regular AI stuff, you're asking it questions, right? You ask questions, you get answers, you can build off of that, blah, blah, blah. But with a custom GPT is more like a fine-tuned thing, right? It is going to provide you something that is more relevant to like whatever it is you're doing. So like in this case, this one is called the Ultimate AI Coach. And it says that it's your personal mindset and business coach designed to help you break through procrastination, shift limiting beliefs, and take massive action towards your goals. And it's like, I need that. Sign me up. That's what I need. But I didn't put all the pieces together at first. So first I see she had done this post on Facebook that just happened to show up in my feed several weeks back. And she was talking about how she had received a cease and desist for her custom GPT that she had created because apparently it was too successful. And like that to me is like, I'm like, tell me more. I want to know more about this. And she said it caught the attention of a very famous life coach that it was modeled after. And I loved how she said this in her post. We'll call him Ronnie Tobins. It's like, okay, we know who she's talking about. And apparently it caught their attention. They didn't like what she was doing. And so, she had to adjust it, which of course, like any of us would, so she redid it, but she said that old GPT had over 500 users. I guess it lets you know, I guess if you create one, it'll let you know how many people are using it, but like she can't access anybody's information that's using it. So basically she just decided, well, no, this will be new and improved. And Anna, I know you got to run, but I really am so glad you joined us today. So always come back anytime. Catch the replay because this is such an interesting story.
I know. I can't wait. Yeah. It was good to see you, Rachel. Take care, both of you, and everybody watching. Good to see everyone.
Bye, Anna.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Anna.
So, all of this sounded so intriguing to me. So what I ended up doing was, it was just one of the things like, I got to play with this GPT thing, but I put it on the back burner. So a couple of weeks go by And a couple of nights ago, I don't remember why, but it kind of got back on my radar. And I'm like, I am going to try this. And by this point, it's late in the evening. I'm winding down for bed. Normally, I do stuff like this on my computer, not on my phone. Phone's too small for stuff like this. But I'm like, I'm just like standing there with my phone. I'm like, I'm just going to try it right now on my phone and see like what exactly is this and what will it do. So I opened up this thing and it's just, it's free. It's just, um, I mean, again, I think this is why I want to do like a little deep dive class next week because I think it makes more sense. But we don't have time today to I don't want to demo it right now. I'm just going to explain like how I used it and how it's helping me. But it's basically a screen and it's like, you know, a helpful coach for anything, and it's like it needs you to prompt it. It needs you to say something. And it just starts off saying, I need your help with something, ... So like you got to fill in the blank. You got to tell it like, okay, tell it what you need help with. So I'm like, again, it's late at night. I'm just like, I need to play with this already. Let me just try this for a second and then I'll deal with it tomorrow. So I didn't even know what to say to it. This shows you how bad I am with stuff like this. My prompt to this was, what question should I ask you? Because I just didn't even know how should I start with this?
I love
So
it though. I mean, it'll tell you, right?
it'll tell you. So I asked that simple, so you can see at the top. I know it's kind of small on the screen. What questions should I ask you? So being that this is a custom GP to be a coach to help you with breakthroughs and mindset shifts, is asking me some probing questions. So and it kind of breaks it down to several things. So it's like, if you're facing a challenge, and it gives me like different things, like how can I overcome a specific obstacle? How do I keep procrastinating on a goal, or why do I keep procrastinating? Like all these things. If you want to improve yourself, if you have a goal in mind. So it is like giving me some prompts here and giving me some things to help me kind of direct me. So I'm like, okay. I said I need a mindset shift. I keep procrastinating, put off monetizing my biz ideas. So it is going to help me now. It's like, okay, gotcha. We got this. So key question, what specifically do you tell yourself right before you procrastinate? Is it doubt, overwhelm, perfectionism, fear of failure, or something else? And because I'm on my phone, I'm trying to type. I couldn't even get all out. I was trying to say a bit of everything, but it's like, see, it's kind of small. It's a bit. And
What?
it's like a bit of what? And I was like, man, don't you hate when you're trying to type something? That's why I do this on my computer, not my phone normally, because I knew it was going to mess up. So I do it again. And once again, a bit. and then it's sent. I'm like, no. And so it keeps asking me,
That's funny.
are you trying to finish the sentence? It's a bit. And I finally got it out. A bit of everything. And it's like, thank you for sharing that. It sounds like there's a mix of feelings at play. So, it's having a conversation with me. Now, keep in mind though, I'm doing this, it's a custom GP and we're just going back and forth and I'm typing. I could probably do this as audio. I didn't, but I see down here at the bottom, you can see the little voice mode button, the bottom right, the black button is the voice mode. I didn't do it that way, but I think I'm going to experiment and try playing with this, doing the audio, because I love doing the audio. And it's so cool to just have this back and forth conversation. But all of this was done back and forth with just text. So, I'm asking it all these questions and it's like, well, let's reframe this. Let's, it's just giving me all these things. And then it's like, let's break it down. And it's like giving me things to think about, which I thought, okay, this is super interesting. And having me look at this from a point of view I wasn't looking at before. Then I think what was so amazing is, now, here's the challenge. Now, I'm not expecting this. As I said, it's late. I'm trying to wind down for bed, doing this on my phone real quick just to see what is this experience like.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, here's a challenge. what is one small, simple offer you can put out this week without overthinking, even if it's just a $10 or $50 test offer? The goal is to break the fear loop by taking action. What is the first offer that comes to mind? Let's make it real. I'm like, okay, I got to keep going. It's like, this is good. And it's inspiring me. So the first thing I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go with it. The first thing came to mind, ChatGPT for Dummies class. So that's what I put in, which is something I've been wanting to teach. And it's like telling me, brilliant idea. People are curious about ChatGPT, and many are overwhelmed or don't know how to use it effectively. So now it is helping me figure out a simple, approachable way to put an offer together. So now it's giving me all these things to think about, like, okay, the offer itself. Here's the name for it. What format? Do you want it to be a live Zoom class? Do you want it to be pre-recorded? Do you want a PDF guide? What kind of pricing? Do you want to start low and maybe charge something? What's the quickest way to sell it? Post about it today on social media. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like, sometimes we just need this kick in the butt, right? We need a coach. Sometimes we need a coach and we don't realize we need a coach. I think that's what was happening to me. And so it's like just throwing out little things like, here's just a simple little prompt of of a social media post, and then DM people who respond and send them a quick payment link. And then I love this, the mindset shift. Selling equals helping. You're knowledgeable. Your knowledge is valuable. You don't need everything to be perfect. Just get it out there. And that is normally my mindset. That is how I am the queen of ready, fire, aim. It's like, get the idea, put it out there, tweak it as you go, and make it better and better. I've always been like that, but I just felt like I've been in this shift in my life because of all the things I've been doing over the years, taking care of family members and, having just a different kind of life for a good number of years, 5 years, that's a long time. I just felt like I just got out of that way of thinking I always had of like, okay, I got an idea, let's just do it. And instead it's like, okay, what do I want to work on? What kind of class should I put out? Okay, I got 10 ideas. Which one should I do? Yeah, and that's not normally me, but like that's been this block I've had for a while.
I really like that point, if I can interject here, where it's on mindset shift, selling equals helping.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really resonating with me as an author, because a lot of people, especially, if you have a difficult traumatic story to tell, people may come at you critically in some way, like, oh, you're trying to make money off your trauma or whatever. But I feel like being a voice for a lot of other people, like you are for Kratom, like you have found this, plant that has changed your life, which you just want to help people learn about this. I think that is a huge mindset shift, that selling equals helping.
Right.
I like that a lot.
And that's something I've always struggled with. I love helping people. And for me, it's not about money, but money is important.
Of course, money pays the bills.
I have always felt like I'm not a very good salesperson because I hate asking for money. I don't always feel like, and that's why I felt like this exercise I did on here on ChatGPT using this custom GP was been so helpful for me, because that was one of my blocks. It's like, I love helping people, but I don't want to ask for money, and I don't want to ask for people to pay, and but I need to. I
and that's the
support
thing.
myself.
I use it a lot instead of ChatGPT I pay for it as well. Instead of the Google AI, I'm getting the ChatGPT AI, which may or may not have more information. So the concern is, and this is something that someone asked me, is you're putting this in there. Could somebody else then potentially benefit off of this idea, because that's now in the ChatGPT database?
Well, I still don't quite fully understand that whole data sharing thing. Now, when we
I
had
don't either.
When Dustin Stout from Magi was here recently, we did have a discussion about it, and he was telling us how to lock down each of our AI accounts individually to make it so that they cannot share your data. So I followed all of his instructions. So like actually on my ChatGPT account, I did click the thing he told us about here so that they cannot use my data to train their models, right?
Okay.
But here's what's interesting, and here's why I think this exercise I did the other night worked so well, and that's why I want to keep working on this more and teaching this as a class, because I think this will help so many people, is that if you haven't been utilizing ChatGPT and it's not storing memory of all your discussions, then the thing I just did the other night may not be as effective. It'll probably have to ask you way more probing questions. The thing is, I've been using ChatGPT for a couple of years. I've had lots of conversations with it. Now, when I'm doing it in Magi, it is not collecting that same memory. So that's the only thing, is that when I'm using Magi, it's because that's just a separate server, with his API access as a developer, everything is there, which is great. But I will use ChatGPT separately from time to time, especially since this advanced voice mode thing, because I love it. Like, I'll just be out walking my dog and like brainstorming ideas with Chat. I'm like, hey, I got this idea. I was doing it this morning, like, and it I mean, you can wipe the memory off of it, but I like that it's collecting all this, and sometimes it'll even say memory updated. I love this because it's remembering all of my conversations, and I think the reason why this exercise I'm showing y'all works so well is that it knows all of this about me. It knows about all of my ideas and all the different communities, this community, my Kratom community, all the different things and all the value I bring to all of the communities. And that it's like you're sitting on a gold mine. You have all this knowledge, you have all this stuff you can teach and you can help people with, but you need to focus. And that's, I think, was the problem I was having. It's like, I have too many ideas and I want to do everything. And you can't always do everything. You can't always do it all. So I think that's why this has been super helpful for me. I want to show a few more things with this. And then another coach thing I came across that was cool. Hey, Jennifer, thank you for joining us. Always great seeing our friends come in live. Gosh, we got like 90 people here live. Thank y'all all for tuning in live and hanging out with us. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and X right now. So, and it's recorded, so you can always catch the replay too. So, yeah, let me pull this back up, finish through what we're looking at here. So now it's helping me kind of formulate this program I want to do, ChatGPT for Dummies, Master AI in Minutes. And it's giving me all these ideas of like, how I could lay this out as a class. And it's just so much helpful information. See, I love stuff like this because this to me is like that little personal assistant helping me, do this quicker. Instead of it taking days and days, I could do all this like in half a day, and it's coming up with a call to action, next steps. I love this. Next steps. Pick a date and time. When will you go live? Decide the platform. Start promoting. I mean, we know we need to do these three. These are the three things to get this whole thing kicked off. We know this.
It simplified it though.
But it's helping me and it's framing it in a way. It's like, this is so helpful. Hey, Deborah, thank you for joining us. I'm walking through this whole ChatGPT thing I did with a custom GP. So it's given me like these helpful next steps. And I even responded. I said, well, so then it said, this class is simple, valuable, and easy to execute. What date would you like to go live? Let's lock it in. And I'm like, ChatGPT, I love you right now. Even though it's late and I need to go to bed, this was so awesome. So I said, I know this is small. I know not everybody can. If you're watching on your YouTube on TV, you probably can read this all just fine. Anyway, I said, this is great. And the kick in the butt I needed, let's do this on Friday, March 7th. I proceeded to change it to the 14th. I'm like, wait a minute. No. Gotta give myself a little more time. I still like to take on too many things. There's other things I want to do. So it's like, no, I changed it. And then I asked her for help in creating the class. So it's just giving me more. Okay, this is what I think was such the game changer here. So I give it a date. We're locking this in. Now it's telling me, here's this week's to-do list. I'm like, holy cow. This is what I need. I needed this so bad. So it's telling me today, announce the class, a simple post to generate interest. This week, build the slides, keep it simple, or go with a no slide, just demo format, which I love doing. Monday through Tuesday, promote again, blah, blah, blah. Wednesday, finalize your outline and call to action. Thursday, do a quick practice run. Friday, go live and crush it. It's like, wow. Sometimes this is what we need. Sometimes this is all we need to get things rolling.
I need that.
Yeah. So then it kind of breaks down some more, gives me more steps. And then I asked it a probing question. I said, well, should this first one be free in an effort to gauge demand and interest? Because at first it was telling me, yeah, because you're just trying to monetize your services, just charge a little something. Let's just get something all out there. But then I was like, well, maybe, and that's just me overthinking. But then it says, great question. There is no wrong answer. Depends on your strategy. So it gives me 3 strategies. Option 1, free class. Option 2, paid class. Option 3, hybrid. Do both. Make it free for live attendees, replay, paid for replay. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, hybrid. You come to it live, it's free. If you're not there live, then you can pay a very small fee for the replay. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's like asking me which one felt right. I said hybrid. Perfect. Hybrid model is a smart move. And now it's repositioned itself like we're treating it as a hybrid model. So it's giving me, back to all the steps and going back through it again. And then it ends with these next steps for you. Post the announcement today, decide where you'll sell the replay, plan a simple bonus. Let's make this your first monetized AI class. I said, let's do it. I said, you're the best coach I didn't realize I needed. I love talking to it like as a person, and it came back and said,
Yes.
He says, this is exactly the momentum you needed. This is what he's telling me. I'm like, yes. This is the momentum I needed. You're stepping into action, owning your expertise, and setting yourself up to monetize your knowledge. This is huge. Now let's lock in the details. You can start promoting. So I am just blown away. And once again, I see, because then it's asking me like, how's this feel? Like, it's like, whoa, wait. It's like a real coach. Is there a real person in there? It's asking me, final question. How do you feel right now knowing that you're finally taking action on this? Like, how much money do we pay a coach to tell us these things? I said, it feels amazing. I needed this boost. And it says, that's the energy we want. Momentum is everything. Now you've taken the first step. The next ones will be even easier. And it says, you're not just thinking about monetizing anymore. You're doing it. And when you're ready, let's fine tune. You're unstoppable now. Let's go. I'm like, to me, this is like a game changer. Like, who thinks about using AI to help you through a mind shift change for your business?
Okay, if I can add here, I think that could be really helpful because my focus obviously is authors. For somebody who can't pay a coach like myself or somebody to do it for them, right? They could go in and say, okay, I have 3 months until publisher date, or I have 6 months or whatever. Create a weekly calendar or even a daily calendar of activities for me to do. Because a lot of times people just don't even know what all the options are or what are the best ones for their specific genre. So I think you could even take it even further. Say, okay, my book is nonfiction, it's memoir. So let's focus on that. What are my options for that? You get a lot of information, but like what everybody else says, check the sources. Don't just depend on what it's telling you.
Right. 100%.
But I like that. Like you just really quickly, you said something like, I've always had a problem, getting paid for what I'm doing because I just want to help people. So you could literally put that in. What are ways that I can do this where I don't feel like I'm selling my soul and they're still getting something which isn't too expensive or something like that. And it'll coach you through that too. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just been a block I've had for a long time. It's a me thing, but having this conversation through this custom GP and helping me work through it, it's like, man, I should have done this sooner. This is really cool. And it's just giving me, it was that little bit of push I needed to like, okay, what do you want to, let's come up with a name. All right, let's lock this in, pick a date. Like, boom, boom, boom. Let's just do it. Just do it. Which, as been one of my mottos for a very long time. Just do it. I just felt like I haven't been living up to it like I used to. So it's just amazing. It's amazing having an AI help like that. Deborah, what are your thoughts on all of this? I mean, how are you like, first of all, let's talk about how are we using AI? I use it to help me with writing. I use it to help me, with things like that. I don't really use it so much like this little business coach person.
And you're using the custom prompts in the regular ChatGPT, or using it in Magi?
So this is in regular ChatGPT. It's a custom GP that somebody I know had posted about on Facebook. She had created one. And I talked about it earlier, but basically what she did is she created this custom GP and it says your personal mindset. This is so meta. I asked ChatGPT. I said, ChatGPT, tell me what exactly is this custom GP? So it says this custom GP is your personal mindset and business coach designed to help you break through procrastination, shift limiting beliefs, and take massive action towards your goals.
Cool.
Oh man, I needed that.
I played with custom, creating my own and also using some that others had created about a year ago. I thought that is so cool. And I would have actually subscribed to create my own, because I mean, you know how geeky I am. I create my own. But I thought, my goodness, Deb, how many things are you subscribing to? And now you're going to go pay another $20 so that you can create custom. I was tempted though. So I started playing with it kind of a little bit in Magi. It's when
Gotcha.
20 years ago. That was good. Okay, I'm mixing up $20 with not 20 years ago, but anyway. But I mean, there's so many options that now you can do with Magi as far as doing customization. But yeah, I love the whole concept of creating your own little mini programs to actually interview you and come up with the spit out these you demonstrated. I love it because especially like you said, that gives you this. I need checklists. I live by checklists. Even when I was a kid, it was like, okay, tie your shoe, brush your teeth. I had to go through these checklists, count them out before I walked out the door to make sure I covered everything. I'm still living by checklists, so many decades later. So I love checklists, and for something to spit it out for me to tell me when I need to put a post out there, I need that.
Right. But my understanding of a custom GP, and I could be wrong, so if anybody knows better than me, let me know. My understanding is, okay, however she did it, I don't know how. She created this custom GP through ChatGPT and makes it available to the public. It's free, by the way. I really feel like I should do a deep dive next week and help everybody do this, so they can get the benefit themselves. But my understanding would be on a custom GP, she's putting in her way of teaching, probably a bunch of her writing, a bunch of just so that it knows how to talk like her and be her. Does that sound right? I mean, that would be my understanding.
Like custom prompts, and then you can tweak it so that if it spits out something that's like, wait, that's not quite right, then you can just put in another prompt that says, wait a minute, you can keep tweaking it. It's like programming, but it's actually more human. If I'm saying that as a programmer, saying when it is spitting out stuff that's not quite right, you can still go back in there. You don't have to be a programmer because you're using prompts. So you can speak English to it and say, no, now I need you to go back to that previous prompt and please correct it here. So it's like you can insert it into that timeline and correct it. So that's the cool thing about the custom prompts is you can train it. When they talk about training AI, it's a lot easier than actually doing programming that we were doing in 80s or 90s.
Right.
If that makes sense. I'm trying to generalize it instead of making it too geeky.
No, that makes perfect sense. It's just these capabilities with AI to me just get better and better. And it's just pretty amazing. How can we use this for good? How can we use this to help us? And I'm just so blown away that playing with this custom GP and that I'm getting so much out of it that I wasn't expecting to get out of it. And it's wow, people need to know about this because this could be, some breakthroughs for people.
Definitely.
In helping them. But I also feel like, as I said earlier, I feel like because I've been having so many conversations in ChatGPT and it knows the ideas I have for things like this or programs and classes and just my overall thinking of the things I want to be doing, that is taking all of that and helping me, as well. It's not I think if somebody, and I could be wrong, but I think if you take a custom GP like this, but let's say you haven't been using ChatGPT much and it doesn't have much about you in there, that I'm sure it'd be a very different experience. It'll probably ask you way
Mhm.
more questions, way more probing questions, need a lot more information from you to figure things
Mhm.
out. I didn't feel like it had to ask me that many questions
Mhm.
because it already knew a lot about me.
Right, because it's got background information, so it can retrieve that. And
Right.
if it doesn't, you can always, again, tweak it and say,
Oh,
"Wait a minute,
totally.
that's not right," and, or, like, have you ever done images? And I've done this where I want the next image to look similar to the previous one so that I've got images that are similar, and it's like, all of a sudden, you have this particular hair color, and it's like, "Wait, that's not the same hair color." It's like, look at the last picture that you did and make one that's similar, and then I'll get one that's similar, but it's like it forgot what vein it was on, and it was something really random.
Yeah.
Or it's like, I want the same gender as the last picture that you did. Please continue on this one. But you can like redirect the AI to make sure that you're still doing the same thing, even on the
Gotcha.
images.
I sure like your setup, Deborah.
Well,
Your
thank
live
you.
stream setup is very cool and hip.
Thank you. Thank you. I was getting ready for my I've been doing TikTok live, and the kids like the blue hair, so I just decided we'll just do blue hair every day. So this is my TikTok.
What made you decide to start doing TikTok lives?
Actually it was because I wanted to stream my normal like podcast. I was just, streaming everywhere, and I decided to do TikTok. I need a stream key. So then I thought, well, okay, I got to go do 2 hours of, do the live thing to get the stream key. And then I signed up for what used to be called Live Agency. Now it's Creative Network. And then Gravitas Q asked me to join the network. Right. No, excuse me. Let me say this correctly. I applied, and then they accepted me, and they said, "Oh, you're really fortunate because we don't accept everyone." So then I became accepted as a singer network. So then I started singing. Yeah, long story. And I started
Wow.
singing on TikTok. So now I'm focusing on more so on that. I'm still doing podcasting,
Yeah.
but I'm doing like aiming for, I've only been doing an hour, but like an hour a day on TikTok, but going for 2 to 3 hours a day on TikTok, focusing on the singing. So, which is good. I'm getting back a little bit more into my singing.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome. TikTok live can be really great. It's different from like this format we're doing,
oh,
and
definitely.
this wouldn't translate as well. But let me ask you this, because I've been wanting to live stream on TikTok on desktop, but everything I've looked into and researched is you got to be on a Windows computer. If you're on a Mac, you don't get to do it. You can get
Yeah.
the stream key, but you have to be on Windows. Is that true?
Yeah.
Because
You
I've
can't,
done a ton of research, and that everything kept saying that, and I was even with
you can't
Restream,
do
and I
that.
have Restream, and Restream's like, you can do TikTok lives on Restream. I'm like, not if you're on a Mac.
Now, I got other stuff. I'm basically just doing it on the iOS. I mean, I have the parallels, and I'm running Windows, but then I have to have all this other stuff. It's just easier to just do it on the iOS. And I still have
Yeah.
my Mac laptop, and I'm running some other things, again, techie. So I'm running all the sound engineering. And next week I'm going to be running the music, since I am doing the singing, running the music stuff through that so that I can run a higher quality of the music background, or I'm
Yeah.
saying the background music. I mean, so that I can sing live on the iOS and do it that way with the higher end microphones. Oh, I bought a Sphere mic, so one of these like $1,000 microphones, and the whole thing, so I can do the setup that
Nice.
way. So, but yeah, I'm doing iOS, and I think I'm going to bring in 2 phones and an iPad to do it, but. But I can't do anything small. I gotta go. I'll have to do it, but we're amping up. Somewhere I have to get sleep in there, but and
Yeah.
recover from this, and
Yeah. Thank you, Gail, for the comment. Jennifer says she loves your blue hair, Deborah.
Oh, thank you. I missed that. Sorry, can't see through the bangs.
It's right here.
It looks great. It absolutely
does.
looks great.
It does.
Thank
It
you.
looks really
Thank you.
good. I just like your whole setup you have here. It's very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah,
I
I
love
like
live
this
streaming.
background.
Oh, I like it too.
Thank
Very
you.
cool, very hip. I've just been happy with my lights. It took me forever to find, like, I was just like hating my backdrop for years. And then last summer, I found these lights on Amazon. There's 2 lights, LED on each side, and you get the remotes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because the color scheme I like the most is this. And when Dustin from Magi comes on, he goes, "Oh, those are Magi colors." I'm like, it is. This is his color scheme. But I love this combination. This was my favorite ones. I always use it for everything. And they weren't even that expensive. I think they were like $30, $25, $30.
I like it. I like it.
They're really nice lights. They work great. So Yeah, I just put one on each corner in the back, and pretty darn nice. This is always so much fun, y'all. I just, I wanted to show off this cool thing I did with the ChatGPT custom GP coaching me this week, and it was just so different from what we usually talk about with AI. So I don't hear people talk about it much as a coach, but it's just nice to know. It's an interesting way of using it.
Did you share that in Skool so that we can click on it and add it to our ChatGPT?
No, but I will.
Oh, good. Okay.
And that's a great benefit of being in our Skool community.
And I am. I'm not super active, but I'm there. And I get the updates. I get all the updates in my email. So it's great. I love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in there. I just haven't done it yet. I wanted to wait till I talked about it here today first, and then see if anybody even thinks it's interesting. It's like, am I the only one that thinks this is cool? I hope not. But yeah, I'm gonna have it in here. So if anybody's not in our community, go check this out. It's our free private community. It's a way for us to continue the discussion, because we come here once a week. We do the live stream video here on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Replays available on all three of those as well. But this is a way for us to keep the conversations going. It's like a Facebook group, but I think better. And it's really just like a forum. But there's a lot of other stuff too to it. But yeah, like, Barb was sharing the other day about how OpenAI extended their deep research access, which I was hearing about. It was really nice of her to share that with us. And I love motivational stuff. So I sometimes will post like some little motivational thing. Like, I love these, I love Through the Power of AI. I love Jim Rohn. That was like always one of my favorite old school motivators from like the 80s and 90s. I remember like listening with cassettes back in the day. And, even though he's long gone, because he was not young, he lives on through AI. And so there are these like YouTube accounts where they use AI to like recreate like his style of motivational speeches and his voice, and I love it. So I love listening to those. So yeah, I wanted to share that with y'all. So I'll sometimes post those in there, but yeah, I'm going to share more information over on the Skool platform with like all of this, with the link to this custom GP. It is free for people to use. Curious to see if other people want to try it and see what they get out of it, if it helps them as much as it's helped me. But I just felt like that was really worth sharing today, because it was just super interesting. And I always just want to enlighten others so they just walk away a little bit more smarter. So that's what I've got for y'all today. There wasn't a whole lot of social media news. I did hear that Grok they basically copied ChatGPT and they have their own audio thing now. But you have to go download the separate app. And I don't want to download the separate app, but I don't know if anybody noticed, but like earlier on the mobile app on X, actually right before we came on here, I took a screenshot. This popped up on my phone and it says, this was on X, talk about anything with Ara. So this is their new chat thing. It's their new voice model included for free with Grok iOS app. So what's interesting, ChatGPT has this audio thing limited for the free, but if you do the $20 a month like I do, then you get a lot more time on it. But I also found out that for Android users, Google has their own free voice audio AI thing, which I didn't know, but I'm not an Android person. But Grok is doing it now, but you have to have the iOS app, which is available to download. So I don't know. Has anybody downloaded? I've used Grok inside of X, and it's okay. It's not my favorite. But they have the standalone app now. But I don't have any interest.
Me either.
It's Elon, and it's another standalone app. It's just, I have enough. So, and I'm very happy with my audio chats in ChatGPT. Grok is too snarky for me anyway. Grok. I know people love Grok. It's not for me.
I have a question on the StreamYard. Do you think that you'll be able at some point to do these on Blue Sky or Threads or any of those?
It depends on what if they allow developers like a third party like StreamYard. So my understanding is Blue Sky has a couple of different like third-party ways of doing like a Spaces or a live stream.
Mhm.
But I don't know if something like that would ever make its way over to StreamYard where we could incorporate it right inside of here, which would be nice. But I don't know. I haven't really spent much time on Blue Sky lately. I was in it for a while, but it's just there's only so many hours in a day. You don't
Oh
know
my
how it is.
gosh. My other
You don't know
thought
how it is.
My other thought too is so many people over the last week or so with all the changes, journalists have fled X, right? A lot
Yeah.
of them went to Blue Sky, but
Right.
most of them now are on Substack Notes.
Yeah, Substack is, I've been really watching this progression with Substack. So
It's
pretty much
blown up this
you're
week.
seeing journalists, you're seeing scientists, you're seeing a lot of people, and you can live stream from there. And it's really interesting,
I wonder.
because I'm catching a lot of live streams off of people's their Substacks. Although I prefer YouTube, and I wish they would live stream on YouTube as well,
Yeah.
because it's easier to catch the replay. It's easy, to me, it's just easier all around.
Yeah.
But I am seeing this huge embrace with Substack now, which I think is great. And when you're using Substack for yourself, you can monetize it too. You can have free content and paid content. So I see a lot of journalists doing that now.
Mhm.
And I think it's super smart because it's a way for them to monetize their work, especially if they're being an independent journalist now. And a lot of them are going that route. So
Yeah, I wonder with the live streams if you have to do it through Substack.
it looks like it is. From what I can tell, it looks like you do it on your phone through the Substack app. That's what it looks like.
I think you
Because
could
I
do
see
it on the computer
you
too.
probably could, but I'm seeing
Yeah.
a lot of people just do it through their phone. It's
Yeah.
really obvious it's their phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it looks like it's specifically just a Substack thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I think what's smarter, and I see some journalists doing it, is use StreamYard like we're doing
Yeah.
and put it out to all your social media. Now, Substack's not part of that, but I've seen some people do it in a smart way where it's multiple devices. There's a popular, well-known journalist has gone independent, and let me tell you, I don't know how many devices he's got going. He's definitely doing StreamYard, but he's also doing TikTok Live with just his phone. You can go on his TikTok Live and you see he just has a phone set up right by him. It's a different experience because you're not seeing his screen, you're not seeing all the stuff because he's on StreamYard doing desktop computer, but he's bringing people in he's covering all the bases. He's covering where anybody and everybody's at. And I think that I've always been a fan of that. I think that's super smart. Try to be as many places as possible. This is why we're doing this as a live stream instead of Spaces. When this was Spaces for years and years and years, well, we're just limited to Spaces.
Right.
Doing it like this, and you all know I prefer live stream anyway. I love audio, but I love this. But now we're still on X as a live stream. Not Spaces, but we're also on my YouTube and on my Facebook, and y'all are able to add as guests. So, Rachel, looks like we're on your X.
Yeah, for some reason, Facebook wouldn't connect for me. And then that's when I was muted at the beginning. I was trying to fix it and I was like, oh, forget it. But I got X to work.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that.
Of course.
So, yeah, I mean, this is we're having just a great conversation with y'all today. We've got 133 people here watching us live at the moment. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate it. And if you came in late, catch the replay as soon as this is over. You can watch the replay. But we'll do this every Thursday. Come back next week. We'll do it again. I'm sure there'll be something really cool for us to talk about. I always find something, usually a lot of things. Today was just more focused on this one thing because it was so interesting and cool. So thank you all for hanging out with me. So I'll see y'all back here next week. Y'all have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. And come hang out with us in Skool so we can stay connected throughout the week.
Yeah. It's great. So much great information.
Awesome. Love that. All right, y'all. See y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye.